You know when you slice a carrot and you're like, whoa, that looks just like an eye? Or you crack open a walnut and it's basically a perfect tiny little brain? Well, what if that's not just a coincidence? In this explainer, we are diving deep into what I'm calling nature's secret health code to see if food is actually sending us visual clues about what our bodies need. So what's the deal here? Is this all just one big crazy coincidence, or is nature giving us a super clever built-in guide to nutrition? It's a really cool question. Let's dig in and see what these lookalikes and the science behind them have to say. Okay, let's kick things off right at the top with our body's command center and its most important sensors, our brain, our eyes, and our ears. I mean, just look at this. A walnut is practically a perfect miniature model of the human brain. It's wild. You can clearly see the two hemispheres, left and right, and even all the little folds and wrinkles on the surface. The resemblance is just undeniable. And guess what? This connection goes way, way beyond just looks. Walnuts are an absolute powerhouse of nutrients that are scientifically proven to be amazing for brain health. We're talking high concentrations of omega-3s, antioxidants, and vitamins that help protect the brain from damage and inflammation. They can even boost things like your memory and how fast you process thoughts. It's a classic case of form-following function. Now, we've all heard the old saying that carrots are good for your eyes, right? Well, the visual clue is staring right back at you. When you slice a carrot, you see this pattern that looks exactly like the human eye, right down to the pupil and the lines of the iris. It's probably the most famous example of this whole phenomenon. And yeah, that old advice is totally spot on. Carrots are absolutely packed with beta-carotene, which our bodies cleverly convert into vitamin A. And vitamin A is crucial for good vision, especially seeing in the dark. Plus, they've got lutein, which helps protect our eyes from age-related damage. So yeah, eat your carrots. Okay, here's one you might not have ever noticed before. A sliced mushroom has this really striking resemblance to a human ear. It's kind of subtle at first, but once you see it, you really can't unsee it. So, what's the connection? Well, our hearing depends on 3 incredibly tiny, delicate bones inside our ears. For us to hear well, those bones have to be healthy and strong. And it just so happens that mushrooms are one of the very few natural food sources of vitamin D, which is absolutely critical for bone health. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's move from our senses down into the body's engine room. We're going to look at foods that seem tailor-made to fuel our most vital organs: the heart, the lungs, and the stomach. First up, the tomato. It's red, just like a heart. But the similarity actually goes deeper than that. When you slice one open, you can see it has multiple chambers, just like our own 4-chambered heart. It's a really beautiful visual match. And you better believe that match holds up chemically. Tomatoes are famous for a powerful antioxidant called lycopene. That's what gives them that rich red color. And tons of research shows that lycopene is amazing for your heart. It helps protect cells from damage and can lower your risk of heart disease by helping to balance out your cholesterol levels. So just to be clear, what exactly is lycopene? Simple. It's that powerful antioxidant that makes red fruits and veggies red, and its main job is to help protect our cells, especially those in our heart, from getting damaged. Okay, next up, think about a bunch of grapes. The way they branch out into all those tiny little spheres, it's a perfect mirror of the alveoli in our lungs. Those are the tiny air sacs where all the magic happens, where we exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with every single breath we take. And yep, the science backs this one up too. Grapes contain these compounds called anthocyanins, which have been found to help protect our lungs from damage. They can actually help keep our lungs working well as we get older, and might even lower the risk of respiratory diseases. Anybody who's ever had an upset stomach knows that ginger is the absolute go-to remedy. But have you ever stopped to notice that a piece of ginger root looks a whole lot like the stomach it's so famous for soothing? The real magic in ginger comes from a compound called gingerol. It's what gives ginger that spicy kick, but more importantly, it has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It's incredible for calming the stomach, helping with digestion, and of course, fighting off that awful feeling of nausea. All right, for our final section, let's zoom out a bit and look at the body's entire framework, the stuff that holds us all together, and the chemistry that keeps us feeling good. We're talking bones, and even our mood. Long, strong, and sturdy. It's pretty obvious that celery stalks look just like human bones. But the connection here is surprisingly direct and, well, pretty scientific. See, this isn't just about them looking alike. The connection is literally chemical. Celery and bones share key structural components. Both contain sodium, silicon, and vitamin K, all of which are essential for keeping our skeletal system strong and helping it regenerate. And for our last one, let's have a little fun. Okay, so a banana isn't a body part, but its shape perfectly mimics one of our most important expressions, a smile. And it turns out a banana can actually help you make one. Here's the cool science behind the smile. Bananas contain an amino acid called tryptophan. Our body takes that tryptophan and converts it into serotonin. And serotonin is often called the happy chemical because it's a major player in regulating our mood. So eating a banana can literally chemically help make you happier. Which brings us right back to our big question from the beginning. After seeing all these connections, from the brain in a walnut to the smile in a banana, what do you think? Is this some grand design, or just a whole series of really delicious happy accidents? You know, maybe why it happens is less important than the fact that it does. Whether it's by design or just by pure chance, these patterns give us a brilliant and super simple way to remember which foods are good for which parts of our bodies. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. The next time you're walking through the grocery store, just take a closer look at everything. You might just find that nature has already laid out the perfect shopping list for you.